versus the world. We may not be right, but we don't know what about. Versus the world. We don't fuck around. If we did, we found out we are drunks. Versus the world. We may not be right, but we don't know what about.
Hey guys, do you guys know what time it is?
Game
It
time.
doesn't matter what time it is!
Oh.
It's time for
Drunks versus the World podcast.
No.
It really is.
Again?
It is.
It's Vader time.
I'm
It's
sorry
Vader
that
time. Yeah, that's...
I'm really sorry that I kind of interrupted what you guys were saying.
No, you're not.
You're right, I'm not even a little bit. And I'm Jason with three guys with
This
Drunks
is
versus
three
the
men and a
World.
baby.
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
I'm Jason.
I am Justin.
And it doesn't matter what my name is. No, it's Lucas.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to watch the Rock's promo.
I do have to
Last night.
watch that from this week.
I'll have to watch.
He was in Phoenix. You all a bunch of fucking crackheads. So he didn't say fucking, but
He wanted to. Mm-hmm. He that guy's got a very colorful fucking vocabulary. Let's
he was
put it
calling
that way.
Seth Rollins a walking clown emoji. That walking clown emoji, Seth Rollins.
That's good.
Yeah, and he calls all of Cody Rhodes' fucking guys
The Cody
Crybabies.
the Cody Crybabies.
Yep.
So I'll give Rock credit in that, well, I mean, obviously he's one of the GOATs, but he, more than most, is capable of playing both the face and the heel.
Yeah.
Like, he can do both, where Stone Cold tried to be a heel. It just didn't work because
it kind of worked. The Rock does it better.
And that's the same thing, but the same thing happened with The Rock. He
It did.
tried to be a heel, and it didn't work. I mean, it did, but it didn't. The people that hated him as a face loved him as a heel, and it was like 50-50. When he was a heel, people, it just went both
Well,
ways.
he's got such a sense of humor to him. It's
Yeah.
hard not to. It's hard to boo him.
I'm going to say something very controversial here.
No, because you've never done that, ever.
And so,
There is no space.
okay, no. Whoa. Let's dial it back a little bit. We're going to stay in wrestling territory here, but
Okay.
so I think it's really important if you want to get over as a big time, well, anything, is you have to be able to play a heel. It did work at first for Stone Cold. Like, he was a heel, but then he was too good at it to where people started to like it.
Yeah.
The Rock did that for a time, but he's still better at maintaining the heel persona. But, and here's my hot take.
Uh-oh.
If Dominic Mysterio can maintain the heat that he's getting as a heel, if he makes a face turn, he could be absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to be good in order just to get the crowd reaction. Mm-hmm. And the reaction that he gets as a heel is bigger than I've seen in a long time.
There's rumors going around that they're piping in the booze when he's out there.
They definitely do that for sure.
I don't know.
But
Because the one reason why I don't believe that they're piping in the booze and bullshit like that is because of his of what his
supposed hatred for his father, and how he pulled the whole. I'm pretty sure that Eddie Guerrero
I wish Eddie was my dad.
Yeah. that right there is gonna
That was
get you
big.
some booze.
But he does a lot of really little things that really kind of put him over as a heel. I think it was on
Dating Rhea alone will put you
which
over.
is that's going to generate hate for sure. A lot of jealous
Well, maybe so. I don't know.
a lot of jealous keyboard warriors out there, but
She should be mine.
Yeah,
But-
the ones that actually think it's still real.
Yeah.
But those are the kids that are like fucking like 10, 12, 11, 12.
Wait, that's not real?
but he did a promo.
What do you mean it's not real?
It was
Sorry, buddy.
I think it was the Judgment Day.
It's like Santa Claus.
and what's Gunther's?
Oh, the
Imperium.
Yeah.
Oh,
They did a promo
fucking
either last week, maybe the week before. And even the Imperium, when Dom got the mic and the crowd just went crazy
As
booing.
soon as he gets it.
Yeah.
Even the Imperium, they were cracking smiles because you know that the wrestlers, all of them, love any reaction. If you can get a reaction out of the crowd, that's the most important thing. And so when they hear those boos, you can't help but just be impressed.
When do you think was the last time there was a heel that was hated as much as Dominic Mysterio?
Jesus.
Probably Vince.
Vince or HBK after the screw job, the Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think anyone's been a bigger heel than Vince. Maybe Hogan
Yeah.
after he turned.
Hogan, when
NWO?
Hogan went NWO, that could have been.
But he didn't even make a good heel.
He didn't.
Hogan?
I don't think he did.
was a
Yeah,
garbage
he
heel.
was a good heel.
No.
But Dom does these little things, and again, in that like Imperium thing, and just in promos in general, when Rhea's out there with him, if you watch, he will slowly, as things get intense, he kind of slowly moves behind Rhea to like let her protect him, and
Yeah.
it's just these little things that he does so well that the crowd,
Yeah.
it gets them into it.
I wonder how much of his persona does his dad have influence on? You know what I mean? Because there was years that I never watched wrestling, and I don't know if
I don't know if
Mysterio ever was a fucking.
He might have
heel.
been, but I don't
It
know.
would
either.
surprise me if he was, because he's just such a beloved wrestler.
Right, right. Well, because he's like your little. This ain't to be mean, but he's like your little lapdog.
Yeah, he's like 5'6",
No,
and
but he's good.
and yeah,
My favorite intro.
smallest guy to ever be allowed to win the title.
Right.
I mean,
his was my favorite entrance when they'd fucking basically shoot him from the underneath the stage.
yes, that was really cool.
And they quit doing that for him. And I love that intro because I was like, so we've been playing WWE 2K23 for quite a while. Well, we started for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that intro was not there.
That would be a sick one to put in there.
It would, because, I mean, the guy weighs fucking, what is it, like 150 pounds? And they shoot him up, so the guy's bucket up like almost 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And
I forgot about that.
I love that.
I wonder
intro.
why they stopped doing that, because that was really cool.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's
couldn't do
getting
it
older.
anymore.
Bad on your knees, I'm sure.
Yep.
Might have
Definitely, that could totally be
been probably
it.
it.
We have been playing a lot of video games lately.
Another thing that happened yesterday was as soon as they were about to sign off, Rock was about to do, "If you smell," and then Roman stopped him. He's like, "I need one thing from you. I need you to acknowledge me." And The Rock did.
Okay,
Yeah.
He's turning.
He's definitely
He's
turning.
Yeah.
Definitely
That's
turning.
going to be gone. Because there's no way that Triple H is going to... The Rock, before he was a fucking movie star, when he was a wrestler, he was... He would go in and say, "This is what I'm going to do." And they would be like, "Yeah," because he's a fucking huge draw.
Yeah.
Him and Stone Cold were probably the biggest draws of all time.
Yeah. Stone Cold, I think, is number one. I mean, Hogan probably is what
Hogan's what?
I think he turned wrestling mainstream.
Yes, he definitely did.
Yep.
Definitely did.
I mean, not a great wrestler in the ring, but he had the look. As a personality, he had everything.
Right.
Yep.
And he was probably the reason I started watching as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw him rip his shirt off. I was like, oh my
Oh,
God,
look at that
he's
guy.
so strong.
Even though he had the shirt like cut at the top.
And-
Lucas was checking. Was yeah. I'm
Well-
12. I want that. I want that on my ceiling.
But even if he didn't pre-cut the shirt, it's so easy to rip
Oh,
a
yeah.
t-shirt. As a kid, I was like,
I can't do that.
Man, he's a super. He's got superpowers.
Those shirts are hard to rip.
Now I accidentally ripped my shirt, scratching my neck. Like,
Well, that's because you were sitting on a toilet. You had it stuck underneath you or something.
is what it is. But
No, I agree, and I think the Rock, for being as mainstream as he is, being the Hollywood fucking movie star that he is now, and people knowing what happens with wrestling now, like, I mean, it's fake. Okay, the drama is fake. It's the stuff that happens in ring is. It's not fake, but it is fake. You know what I'm saying? When I say is fake, I mean is they talk about this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna have, but the actual fucking moves can fucking really hurt.
Ric Flair always said it's not fake, it's choreographed.
It's choreographed. It's predetermined, but the shit that happens in the ring fucking hurts.
Well, look at
you know how to you train to minimize the damage. But it still hurts.
Look at that time when I think it was Sting and Roddy Piper and a couple other people were on. They were on a talk show. I can't remember what talk show it was, and the talk show host said something about wrestling being fake, and fucking Roddy Piper got
That was Marr.
It was Bill Maher, because he said, "Is this fake?" And he was showing the injuries.
Yeah, scars and shit.
Yeah, scars.
Yeah, and so.
Well, he's like, tell that to Owen Hart's family if it's fake.
Yeah.
Tell that to the Von Erichs and shit.
And just before WrestleMania, one of the press guys in Australia confronted Austin Theory and was like, "Well, it's all fake." And so Austin Theory kind of went off on him. And it's like, how are you in 2024? As a journalist, you went to school for this shit, and your big take on wrestling is, it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, welcome to 1970 when...
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching it when I was really young with my great-grandma, and I loved watching wrestling with her. You know, and then every once in a while, my great uncle would go to like a video store remember when, grocery stores had video stores inside?
Yep.
And he would go to these places and he'd find like 2 or 3 wrestling videos, the pay-per-views.
Yeah, like Starrcade 96.
And the stuff that you couldn't, back in Williston, you couldn't pay for.
Yeah.
So they'd go buy these and we'd watch and we're like, oh my God. And my grandma was like, oh, somebody just needs to go slap him with her crooked finger,
Why would he do that?
Oh my God, that Ric Flair, that guy, somebody just needs to slap him. And I'm like, Grandma, calm down. You're scaring me. You know?
I always go ahead. No, go ahead, Justin.
I always thought they should come up with like a WWE style football series. Choreographed football.
Oh, okay. But where it's predetermined,
right.
You're saying. Like,
where you'd have the drama too and promos and shit like that.
I think that's what they were
or even like basketball. Or,
that could be it could be entertaining.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they kind of tried with the XFL, but...
No, they always intended the XFL to be real.
Yeah, they wanted it to be real.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying is that, I mean, everybody thought that when it was going to be the XFL, that it was going to be fake.
Well, it wasn't predetermined results, XFL.
But you know what I'm saying. When the XFL came out, everybody thought it was going to be a joke. Everybody thought it was going to be choreographed. Everybody thought that maybe the ending wasn't going to be predetermined, but when he fucking started, and that's when he started that shit.
Yeah.
And now The Rock has it, and he's not going much further. I mean, he's making maybe better business because the XFL and the USFL just merged.
They merged. It's the UFL now.
Yeah. And I don't know how they think they're going to. You got
They're not
a multi-billion-dollar company.
They're going to do it in the spring, and it's more of a developmental type league,
kind of like a G League with the NBA type thing.
I mean, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some players who like I can't remember. There was an NFL player lately who's like, "Fuck, I'll go back to Canada. I can make more money."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? So
just real quick, since we were talking wrestling, we kind of veered a little bit. since we were talking wrestling, we should acknowledge not our tribal chief,
Acknowledge me.
but Ole Anderson passed away.
Yeah.
One of the
And Virgil.
Virgil as well.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, hats
But-
off to both of them.
I don't think I had enough appreciation for Ole Anderson while I was a
don't think I
wrestling
did
fan
either.
that when he got into wrestling, he just wanted to do it, make money, and retire at like 40.
Like he wanted to, and it was something to do with his brother.
Yeah, and he did that. And so like Dave Meltzer, do you guys know who that guy is? He's the
He's
like the
analyst or something.
yeah, he's like one of the biggest wrestling analysts out there, and
just a YouTube analyst.
basically, yeah, he has his own newsletter and shit. I used to think it was spam because like I started getting emails from Dave Meltzer. I'm like, who the fuck is this talking about wrestling?
Email
What the hell's
from
going
Mr.
on?
Meltzer.
But he did an interview with Ole Anderson years ago, and Dave Meltzer is one of the guys that has a vote for Hall of Fame, and so he was asking Ole like, oh, you know, what do you think about not being in the Hall of Fame and stuff? And Ole Anderson was like, I got into wrestling to make money and be retired at 40, 43. Like, I don't care if I'm in the Hall of Fame. The guys that are in the Hall of Fame, because Ole, I have to say, I respect the hell out of Ole Anderson. Just hearing his thoughts on wrestling. He was friends with Ric Flair, obviously. Flair and Ole Anderson.
He was.
They were OG Four Horsemen.
Yeah. OG.
But he has such a dislike for wrestlers like Flair and Hogan, who they go in and they basically put on the same match every week to week.
Yep.
And that's true with Flair. I love the way that he would take that turnbuckle, flip over, and do it. But yeah, it was
across the apron and then get fucking
and then
clotheslined.
I've always said Flair's a little overrated.
I've always have too. Always thought he was overrated, but
great personality, great on the mic. His wrestling, it was, you could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Ric Flair
Even
was
his personality, his persona. I don't know.
He had the charisma though. Like that was what it was for him.
Not to take away what you're saying about Ole Anderson, because like there was a point at one time where somebody went up to Arn Anderson and said something derogatory towards Ole, and Arn fucking whooped his ass for it.
Yeah, I bet he did.
You don't fuck with my brother type of shit. But anyway, what I was gonna say about Flair is Flair took the not the actual wrestling match, but promos, and fucking put it through the roof. Ric Flair was the epitome of what promos are to be now.
Yeah.
The only thing about Flair is that now you know he's gonna start turning red because he's about to have a fucking heart attack. He's sweating underneath the hot fucking lights, whatever, and he's screaming, and you're gonna hear about 17 woos.
Christ.
And then he's gonna start taking his clothes off.
And Flair literally did have a heart attack in the ring at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then he's
right.
gonna strut the cross and do that against the rope, and then he's gonna fucking take a bump. And I mean, everybody knew that's what he was gonna do. But Flair was an amazing guy on the mic.
He was one of the best.
Really,
styling, profiling.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
jet plane riding or private plane or whatever.
I gotta say, the other thing that I didn't know about Ole Anderson was he really was good at promos.
Oh yeah.
When he passed, I started watching I started learning about what he did in wrestling, and I started watching old videos and stuff, and he has one of the greatest heel turns of all time. Really? He was tag partners with Dusty Rhodes for 12 months.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes. 12 months. And then big steel cage match against, I don't remember who it was. I think they were like Russian or something. And Ole turned on Dusty And he tagged Ole in, and Ole gets in and just turns on, starts beating him. It was 12 months that there was no sign of this. And it was when Ole came out to do the promo after this happened, he played like clips from earlier in their career where Dusty Rhodes was, because they feuded earlier, and was like, oh, it's not over till one of us is dead or whatever. And it's like a 12-month stretch playing this perfect face or whatever, all just to get revenge on Dusty Rhodes from a feud that happened years ago. and Ole was out there. It was a 10-minute promo. They would show clips and stuff, and Ole was just on the mic the whole time. High energy. The crowd, because they had a live crowd in there for the promos too.
Yeah.
Man, they were. God,
They were
those
shocked.
I can't. It wouldn't surprise me back then if they had like 10 security guards to keep the crowd from bum rushing the wrestlers, because it was wild.
Yeah.
How could you?
Absolutely crazy.
He was. And again, I watched that shit. When I say that I grew up watching wrestling, I didn't get a chance to watch WWE until I was probably a teenager. We watched a lot of WCW and then whatever it was before that.
Yeah, I used to only be able to watch like the Saturday wrestling, which wasn't even WCW. It was something.
Like
it might have been NWA,
or WWA, or some all this, and it was something that it was an amazing time to grow up to watch that shit, because first of all, that's a Gen X thing.
Yeah,
for me, because I watched some wrestling from back then that people now are just like,
Yeah.
what are you fucking talking?
This is stupid.
This isn't wrestling. This ain't wrestling.
It's so high flying now.
it is.
Yeah, and everything, and it's not just all high flying, but everything is so choreographed to where
Yeah.
you don't have enough cameras to stop from watching. Like me and Lucas here watched fucking Elimination Chamber last week, and we seen Naomi was in that women's elimination.
Yep.
We seen like 4 times where she literally adjusted herself, where she didn't land right, and so she had to like literally
That's
move
right.
over.
Yeah.
and
I
we see that
remember
with the guys too. But this was so blatant.
I hate the over choreographed stuff where they do a sequence of moves. It takes like 30 seconds and they're spinning
Yeah.
around shit. It's like,
Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah.
So that's what LA Knight does a lot.
Yeah.
it takes me out of it. I suppose the kids probably really like that.
Right.
So I get, and
For the kids.
it is. And
Lucas brought up today the final match of Ric Flair when he finally, one of
the
the seven,
HBK.
Oh yeah,
Ric
that was a
Flair.
good match.
right, and what Lucas had told me, and I knew this, but I was absent-minded at the point where he told me is that Shawn Michaels had said, "Don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it."
Don't say anything.
I
I'll
got
call
that.
everything.
Was that the match where he's like, "I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
love you," and then
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
switched
But
the
HBK
music?
called the entire match.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird because when Lucas said that, I was like, the very last match for WCW was Sting versus Ric Flair.
Yep.
And unfortunately, it kind of sucks because Flair lost that match too. You know, I old school wrestling, Attitude Era, and before.
It was the best.
Some of the stuff now isn't bad, but it's so overly fucking
Yeah.
It's over choreographed. It's
And like I've said a million times, if you watch Raw or SmackDown now, the commercials, they cut between matches and shit, and
they never used to do that.
No, they didn't.
It would have been really cool to be able to experience like that late 70s into the 80s era of wrestling where it was the regional scenes.
Yeah.
You had Georgia and Minneapolis and whatever. Because
Wrestling was big back in the 70s and early 80s in Minneapolis, in Minnesota.
and
Big.
in one of these Ole interviews, he was talking about, it was the Meltzer interview. He was talking about like wrestling in Georgia back then. And he was like, the local wrestling, back then in that territory, you literally had 5 cities in Georgia every single night of the week that had
insane.
live wrestling.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like how I like the WWE and stuff, but how cool would it be to be able? Oh, it's Wednesday. Let's go to the wrestling match.
Let's go to the
wrestling match at the Civic.
Yeah, back then you were sitting on fucking like hay bales and
season
shit.
tickets.
Yeah, how fucking cool would that
Season
be?
tickets cost you like $14 back then.
Go every week. Yeah,
I want the territories to come back, but
the
WWE.
Von Erichs, their dad owned a wrestling promo down south.
I gotta watch that movie.
I do too.
I haven't
It's
seen
very, very sad.
Well, the Von Erich family, dude. The dad was a prick.
Yep.
And then Shawn Michaels owned a promo when the first time he left WWE and retired. He went down south, and I believe it was Texas, and he started a promotion and didn't go too far. That's why he came back.
Gotcha.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I never really looked it up to see if it's true. So I see you got something here. Go.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of Alexander Karelin?
No.
Wait, isn't that a old Russian actual amateur wrestler?
Correct.
He's the guy that Kurt Angle beat, right?
Rulon Gardner.
Rulon Gardner. Yeah, it was
He
Rulon
was
Gardner.
887-2
Jesus.
until
Till Rulon Gardner in the Olympics.
I think that might have been his second loss. I don't know what his first one was, but he went 6 years without getting a point awarded against him.
a single point scored against him. And Rulon Gardner, who out of nowhere, nobody had heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Comes in and
beat him 1-0.
1-0 in the Olympics.
Who was
This dude's a fucking beast.
Who
Yeah,
was
he's
that?
a scary looking guy.
That MMA fighter, Russian fighter that went 10 years without losing.
I mean, it could have been Fedor at one point.
It was Fedor.
He was Fedor Emelianenko, yeah.
10 years without losing.
He went 10 years without losing. But then once the big promos started coming in, because he fought Strikeforce.
Yeah.
And then once the promos got too big, to where he started fighting more, then he lost to some legends.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you go 10 years,
Yeah.
It's a long time.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean,
decade.
yeah, you're gonna fucking say, you know what,
I'm out.
I'm out.
At the time he started losing, everyone was just like, okay, well, he's still the GOAT because at this point he's old enough to where we're expecting he should be losing.
And that's why I will consider him the MMA GOAT.
I think he's the heavyweight GOAT of MMA.
Because he was, and his
fucking Russians,
brother,
man.
so his brother spent a lot of time in prison.
What's his name again?
Fedor.
Fedor, yeah.
Fedor.
Okay.
If you just type that in, you'll see it.
Yeah, his brother he had like organized crime connections and shit.
Kind of looks like Putin.
Yeah. And his brother started, after he got out of prison, he started fighting.
Yep, he was
And
good
then-
too.
And then they again, this is a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but they took him out and said, you can't fight anymore because he's too fucking violent. Like no finger pokes. Oh, he's like fucking the Three Stooges. Boink.
He was a heavyweight?
Fedor was.
I
think
Actually,
his brother.
that was back when they didn't have weight classes though too. He fought everybody.
He doesn't look
He doesn't
like a-
and
He's got a stone. His face, his fucking facial expressions. There's nothing.
favorite.
ice cold.
He's my
Yes.
favorite guy on the stare downs because he
Yep.
literally he has no expression.
And he'll knock you the fuck out. He had hands of fucking iron, dude.
Oh my god! And he could take shots
Yep.
too. Like
But then he started losing. But then he didn't start losing until he was like late 30s, early
Yeah.
40s. The guy's already been fighting.
41-7.
yeah, and
And those 7 just came within the last 12 years.
he was like probably 30-1 or something at one point. Like the guy was
Interesting.
he was a monster.
And they said, so when people are bringing up, 29-0
Khabib.
for Khabib and fucking shit for brains, McNugget was, what's he, 16-4, something like that. But they didn't fight, because Fedor went all over the world.
And like
And he went Samba. He was a big Samba guy.
And
as far as wrestling.
heavyweight back then, it was pretty much consensus that the UFC heavyweights were shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not have good heavyweights. The best heavyweights were in Pride in Japan. And
Pride and Strikeforce.
Yeah, and Fedor just dominated Pride until it went under.
And I think it wasn't called Fight 1. They had an F1.
Yeah, there was M1 or something.
No, I think it was F1. Anyway,
Yeah.
he was a bad motherfucker, dude.
I believe it.
And like I said, you'd
But
walk
could he
out there.
beat Ivan Drago?
Oh, he could beat Drago.
He could beat Drago.
Drago didn't have a ground game.
No, I didn't.
Have you guys ever seen the Creed with
I was going to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
with Drago's son? I think it's the second
I haven't
Creed.
seen any of the Creeds.
Oh,
No, I
dude.
haven't. No, I saw the.
All
No,
they are
I saw
on my- it's
Balboa,
on my list.
not Creed.
all they are the Creeds are basically remakes of Rocky.
Yep.
But they're just doing it
Yep.
with Creed's son,
Yep.
Apollo's son. But so then they have Drago come in, and he was better than Ivan.
Bullshit.
Yeah, dude, his fucking son was huge. And then they brought in Rocky's, or not Rocky, but Apollo's best friend from back in the day who did time for Apollo, Creed's son. I can't remember what his name. Adonis Creed.
Adonis, okay. Yeah.
And Adonis, they fucked up when they were kids, and this other dude ended up doing prison time, and then but he was a
funny.
good
Fucking
boxer back then.
Rocky's son ends up being like a stockbroker or something, right?
Yeah,
Or something in finance.
Yeah. No, it was, combat sports. The UFC thing, I've seen a ton of fucking interviews with fucking Dana White, and all the times he's like, well, when we started, and I don't like it when he says we.
Yeah, because he was not involved at the very start.
No, but I guess what I'm talking about is when the Fertittas bought it.
Oh, okay.
They bought it for $4 million. And they sold it for $4 billion.
Yeah.
Right?
Just a mere 1,000 times
Right.
investment.
So I gotta give Dana credit. He did a good job. But if it wasn't for the Fertittas, Dana White would still be fucking sitting there blowing the Fertitta brothers for money
Yeah.
because
He'd still be some like mid-level boxing promoter.
Yep. And
I'll give the guy credit. He absolutely saved the UFC.
he did.
I
and
mean,
he's seen something in it enough to be able to go to his buddies because apparently they were childhood friends.
okay, I didn't
These
know
guys,
that.
and they're brothers, and they own like 2 or 3 fucking casinos or 2 casinos in Vegas, and they're billionaires. And he brought this up to him, and he said, I think if we make an offer, these guys are selling because they're having money troubles, but this is a big deal. We could do this. And at the time, there was only like a handful of states that would allow.
Yeah, it was like Colorado and maybe California.
Yeah. Fucking New York said no. They didn't even get back into New York till like 5 years ago.
Yeah, they almost at the time they almost passed like federal legislation to ban MMA.
Till they actually brought the rules in because before then, dude, soccer kicks to the face were legal.
I think Dana was pretty.
Fish hooking, fucking all the shit. Anything was
hooking.
legal. And they didn't have weight classes.
Yep,
I love that. They should have kept
it
that.
was cool, but
should
as fighters started to get better and better, when you have the same amount of training, the only other difference at that point is weight.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an
That's
advantage.
Ultimate fighting.
Okay, so yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
But if you take a guy, say like, take Conor McGregor, 160. Part of his walk around rate is 160. Okay, you put him up against say somebody like fucking Frank Mir. Frank Mir's 6'6",
Frank
260. No, not 260, 230 when he cut.
Yeah.
And then when he rehydrate, he was at about 240, 245. He was considered at one time, he was balancing between heavyweight and super heavyweight. You put those two in a fucking ring, and McGregor's walking out with a limp for life.
Yeah.
And he
But
was
in
the
his
first.
prime, you think he could beat some heavyweights or light heavyweights?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but
Maybe.
when it comes down to like top guys against top guys, you have to have weight classes. It just literally a heavyweight would never lose to maybe a light heavyweight. That could happen.
Maybe. I think there's some light heavyweights that he could have possibly beat.
Yeah.
And
maybe some welterweights.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, you could maybe go.
Oh yeah.
You could go out of a. Like maybe you could start doing something where you can fight someone one step out of your division. But like you can't have a lightweight fighting a heavyweight. Like a lightweight will never win that.
I've seen some videos, some old school UFC. We're talking before Dana White and Fertitas, where there's a guy. The guy had to weigh fucking 300 pounds. He was probably 6'1", 6'2", over 300 pounds. Actually, probably closer to 340. Fighting a guy that was like 180, 190 and ripped. And the guy that was that much, that smaller guy beat him.
Yep.
Because the guy was, the other big guy was like, oh,
Yeah,
coming at him like he's the Kool-Aid man,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, shit, what's the weight difference between Mayweather and Paul? And that's
Oh man,
was-
Paul's got to
30,
be
40 pounds?
Paul's way bigger, way bigger. That was the thing is, Logan Paul
He's
went
so
the
much
distance
bigger.
with Floyd Mayweather. That's so impressive. Well, he's also 30 or 40 pounds larger. Like Floyd, if Floyd
And 20 years older.
or younger, yeah. If Floyd in his career had tried to fight someone that was fighting at 190, 200 pounds, he would have gotten absolutely smashed.
Yeah.
Just destroyed.
I don't know, because at that point you got to, okay, so you're looking at it from a boxing perspective. Speed. Endurance.
I mean, the speed definitely is going to help, but
yeah. I think if the you got both of them saying, "Oh, I beat Mayweather." No, we got video proof that you didn't. He was playing with you.
it's like, I could beat up your grandpa.
Well,
That's the same.
I can beat up your grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You could. She's dead.
Well, because she was too scared to fight me. That's why.
Exactly. She's faking.
That's what I thought.
And you know, so now I seen this other thing lately. It was, of course, Jake Paul, Mr. Boxer's got everybody's number. Mm-hmm. He's trying to fucking call out everybody because the guy that he's currently fighting, I think he's got a fucking like a 28-2 record. But the guy, he didn't make it to the big stage.
Yeah.
And so, but he's calling out Canelo again.
Oh, my God.
And there's some people who are out there thinking, oh, that Canelo will take that fight because that's where the big money is. Canelo doesn't need the money.
No, he doesn't. And
First of all, he lives in
Well.
this is not to be mean or to sound fucking crass or stereotyping. Canelo lives in a third world country. He's from Mexico.
I'd say second world, but yeah, I
You
know
know
what you
what
mean.
Okay.
It's close.
In between.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Mexico City's almost running out of water.
And
now,
he's
so.
but the guy
See that.
and he's in his late 30s, but he's fast as fuck.
Dude he's one of the
I haven't
best of
seen
all time.
anybody fucking faster.
He's
fast. He's fast. As far as I'm concerned, he's faster than Pacquiao, and he's faster than fucking Mayweather. Canelo can fucking throw those hands, and if Jake Paul thinks that he's gonna get into a ring with fucking Canelo would, within 2 rounds, drop him at least twice, if not 3 times.
Canelo would maul him. And this is it's what pisses me off so much about Jake Paul. Everyone that he calls out is at a minimum, 20 pounds lighter than him.
And about 5 years past their prime.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Canelo is still kicking everybody's ass, but
Yeah, he lost to Bivol or whatever. And that guy is up and coming, great.
But didn't he come back? Didn't they have a rematch? And he won?
They haven't had the rematch.
I thought they did.
Canelo wants, I think, to rematch him, but it hasn't been put together. But again, Jake Paul fights at like 195. Canelo, I think, right now is fighting at 163 or 165.
163, I think.
Wow.
Something like that. And that's the biggest Canelo's ever been.
Yeah. That's his walk around rate.
Yeah, he kept like he would box and win titles, and then he would move up to the next weight class and unify the titles and move up. And that's what he's been doing. So he's now at his biggest weight. So his best weight is probably 10, 15 pounds lighter than where he's at now.
That fucking guy has got more belts than he does loops on his pants.
Yeah.
Seriously, that motherfucker, Canelo,
He's so good.
you don't want to mess with him. And then, so Jake Paul, and the thing is, he's calling out these guys, like you said, that are fucking lighter.
Yep, they're lighter and old.
And there's been some things, people have been saying some shit about him that some of them, apparently there's a lot of investigations going on with his certain wins, with money going into certain hands, like that last fight, that fight that he lost to Tommy Fury, where that one judge fucking called the fight to him, and there's apparently some investigations going on. I'm not saying that it's true, but we've seen some rather interesting slow-mo parts in the fight with
Anderson Silva.
the Silva, where he was holding it, then he just kind of moved his hand, and all of a sudden Silva dropped his hands and he got knocked the fuck out. In the MMA, and all the times that he stood up and fucking banged with a fucking boxer, he would not have been caught like that. He got caught with a kick.
Yeah. And again, Jake Paul is bigger than Anderson. Anderson Silva fought at 185. So that's the closest that Jake Paul has fought. But still, he's 10, 20 pounds bigger walking around. And Anderson Silva is old as shit, way past his prime.
Oh, yeah. He was what, 41, 42 when that happened?
Yep.
I do think it's funny. The only boxer that Jake Paul fought was Tommy Fury, who himself is not even a good professional boxer.
Nope.
He's still he still hasn't really hit he's still kind of in that like early pro stage.
Yeah.
You're still fighting.
He's in his mid-20s, right?
Yeah, he's young. You're still fighting that,
The guys around the gym that, yeah.
So the best boxer Jake Paul fought was a guy who hasn't even really come on to the pro scene yet, and he lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll give the guy credit. He's definitely taking boxing seriously. Like, he trains seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I give him credit for that.
There was this...
But he's trying to skip the line.
The same guy that fucking said the same shit that was saying, how fucking chances are that there's these investigations going on. The only one that looked real was the fucking Nate Robinson fight. And he knocked him the fuck
Yeah.
out.
That was
He did knock
embarrassing.
him out.
God, Robinson was so bad.
That had to be his only fight, right, Robinson?
I think so.
I think
That was bad.
No, I think he fought one
He
more
might
time.
have. He might have fought on another one of those YouTube
Yeah.
streamer boxing shows.
But let's put it this way. Between him and his brother, who got tons and tons of fucking followers, I don't think that he's taking it serious. But because I guarantee you, him and his brother have heard since they became YouTube people, and Jake was on fucking Disney Channel. Oh, fuck, I just want to punch that fucking kid. He's being an idiot. Look at these assholes, you know? And so they're just like, let's see what happens. And, what if one of them dies and there's in his will, tell everybody I fucking paid them all off.
See that?
I'm sorry, Justin, I don't mean look, it's been
No. I was going to say, kind of off topic, deathmatch. Andre the Giant in his prime, or Brock Lesnar in his prime?
What are we talking?
Real deathmatch.
Wrestling?
In a
Not
real
wrestling,
death-
no,
in
a death match.
Real, then it would be Brock.
It would be Brock.
Probably.
Because
But,
Andre was just too big and too lethargic.
Yeah.
Brock,
Although, so before his run in WWE, back when it was still like the territories and stuff,
he could move a little bit.
he was,
Yeah.
He wasn't overweight or anything. Like, he was just a big, strong guy that basically at the time, all the other wrestlers knew that if he doesn't want to be pinned, I'm not going to pin him. Mm-hmm. Like he was that guy. He only lost to you if he wanted to lose to you. Like if he wasn't going to put you over. Yeah.
That's why. So that's
lost
one.
to Hogan, I think.
Who did?
Andre.
He was sick and he was just at the end of his run.
Right.
And
he's never
the pass
lost
of the torch.
he could barely walk. That's why they would get in that mini ring or whatever, and because
push him on out.
His knees were so fucked.
How much money do you think that Bobby Heenan made off him?
Probably more than he did.
Tons.
Well, everybody's heard the stories of how much that guy could drink, and apparently it wasn't just one time. That's just how he always was.
Yep. He would drink 3 bottles of wine at dinner.
Yeah. He drank it. He drank the equivalency of a keg at one time, just sitting there.
Yep.
I
Fucking legend.
like I said, combat sports have came so far in the last since the 80s, and I think you can honestly, I think you can consider. I'll say it. You could consider wrestling, professional wrestling, WWE, as a combat sport.
I would consider it that.
Because of, they get hurt.
Yeah.
Remember when we seen
CM
Trish
Punk.
Stratus and Lita come back, and Lita was still so fucking not just she wasn't out of shape, but
Didn't have
her
it
body just couldn't do it
Yeah.
anymore. And she was a high flyer.
Yep.
She was
She was one of the
bad.
best.
I love that woman.
Yep, she was great.
She was great. And then look at we talked about it last week. Draws.
Yeah.
The
Puke.
guy Puke. Yeah.
Denver
Right.
Broncos.
Yep.
Was he like a linebacker?
I think so.
Yeah.
He was that motherfucker was ripped.
Yep.
And he was paralyzed from the neck down. Look at Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, look at him now.
Yeah, he
fucked up.
got put into the fucking Hall of Fame
Yep.
earlier in the last month.
NFL.
Yeah, and they did it from his bed.
Yeah, his hospital bed.
His hospital. Yeah, the fucker guy had everything hooked up.
I don't think he should have made the NFL Hall of Fame.
85 Bears, dude.
Yeah. Best
He was
defense ever.
Was that the
But there was that
when they did the
defense was
Super Bowl
stacked.
shuffle or whatever?
Yeah.
Was that one?
Yeah. Look at Owen Hart. Even though he did,
Yeah, look at him
he
now.
didn't
Fuck.
die. He didn't die in ring, but he died next to it.
No, I think he landed in the ring.
I think
No,
he
it was
hit-
outside, I
It was
think.
Really?
he
'Cause-
hit the fucking the corner post
Yeah.
and right the
See,
fuck.
I
God, that would
swear
hurt.
I heard.
Oh god!
I swear
But you
people
wouldn't
said
feel
he
it.
landed in the ring.
I think he died on
Maybe
the
for a
spot.
second.
I think he felt it only because he hit the ropes first. Because that.
Did he?
No,
hit the
I
fucking-
think
he
he
hit
hit
the
the-
corner post.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I heard
That
he
or
hit
the
ropes.
outside railing, I thought.
Maybe. Either way, he
Let's contact WWE, get him to pull that footage
Yeah.
for
Well,
us.
let's just call Brett,
Because we
Trunk
need to
World.
confirm it.
Let's
Yeah.
call Brett and be like, "Hey, how'd your fucking brother die?"
Yeah. Did he hit the ropes or the post? We need to know.
Hey, do you have video? We need to see it.
Did he land in the ring or outside of the ring? Okay.
There's no video of that. Well, video exists.
It
You
exists,
just cannot
but-
find it on the internet.
Yeah, there was one person who put it out and then it got pulled right away.
Yep.
And it's at this point, it's only in the WWE archive.
Yep.
Right. So
Which they might have even burned that
Yeah,
tape.
they might. It'll never be released.
So I think that we should
Rightfully
honestly
so.
Yeah.
consider it
I do want to see it.
combat sport.
Yeah.
It really is. You can't go in. Well, again, I bring up the fucking whole thing with Roddy Piper getting pissed off at Bill Maher. But granted, Bill Maher's a dickhead
He's a douche.
anyway. He's such a
Dude, that
fucking
guy is
asshole.
such a smarmy piece of shit. Fuck
very,
you,
very
Bill Maher.
smug, very.
And I'm a liberal, so I should like the guy. Fuck you, Bill Maher. You suck.
But here's one thing. So when you think about that, so now there are regional wrestling matches.
There still are. It's
Promos,
just-
I should
yeah.
say. There's regional boxing. There's regional UFC or MMA. Not a lot of regional boxing, but the first two are the wrestling and MMA. There's a lot. It just depends where
Wrestling
you're at.
is not quite as much anymore. We need to bring back. God,
Still
I want.
exists, but
yeah,
not like it
I
used
do
to.
want it to. I would love it to go back to the territory style again. And you can still have WWE as the top dog,
Right.
But I want it would be cool to have local shows that we could go to.
I think these local shows, the problem is, though, is that it depends on where you can put them, where you can have them. Mm-hmm. Like I said, a buddy of mine had his own wrestling promotion. And he did I know he did North Dakota, I think some South Dakota, some Montana. I don't know if he ever got as far as Minnesota, but I went and watched one of his shows in Horace. And it was fucking great. Booker T was there. And he even did the whole I'm the commissioner type of thing.
Yeah.
And he walked in and he got fucking hit with a chair, and then he got up and hit. It was fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And I was super proud of my buddy because that was his dream. His dream was he loves wrestling. He watches, like, when he lived with his mom and dad, apparently his parents were paying for fucking like 3 pay-per-views a month.
Jesus.
Because, you had your WCW, you had your fucking
WWE,
and then he had whatever else, and his parents paid for it all.
Did you see what DDP did with Butterbean recently?
Yes. I did.
Dude, Butterbean could barely fucking walk.
He was in a fucking rascal for a while.
Yeah.
DDP's yoga shit it's legit.
He signed up and now he can move around. He's like,
they had him, so he needed hip surgery. Mm-hmm. But they wouldn't give it to him. He needed to lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Yep.
So DDP, what do you have to lose? Like 100 pounds? Something like that.
Might have been more than that.
And oh my God.
Yeah.
I think where he's at now is the lowest he's ever been.
That's what he said.
His weight.
So he went from over 300 down to like 2. He said he'd never been at 299 in his life.
Well, he must have been at some point because he had to pass it to get his.
Well, you know what I mean.
But when he was a baby or a kid,
he went from 298 to 300. Just skipped.
So
straight ahead.
And then he went to
Could happen,
and he was slowly got up there, and he was like, fucking, you've seen in his face.
Couldn't believe it.
And then when he started walking without that cane, without that walker, and he went from like his body was like this
it was like a right angle.
Yeah.
And then he's not totally up and down. Mm-hmm. He's not straight, but you just look at his face and he's like, oh my God, this would not have been possible without DDP.
DDP is fucking awesome.
I think he developed that program because he was basically in that same place.
Yeah.
And so he's like, good for him.
Yep.
Well, look what he did for Jake the Snake. Look what he did for fucking Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
He's helped a ton of these people. And apparently he was back in the day when he decided, he was the oldest fucking world champion ever. Because he was over 30 when he finally won it.
He never started wrestling until he was like my age.
Yeah, I think he was 32 when he started.
Something like that, 33.
And then he won the title when he was like 36, 37. So I won't say oldest ever, but you know what I mean?
Maybe one of the latest starting wrestlers.
Yeah.
And
then when he won it, and apparently he told his wife, he goes, I want to be world champion wrestler. Mm-hmm. And then he did it. And then he won it a few times in I think it was like a three time. And then I think he won WWE one time. And then they kicked him to the curb.
I would be surprised if he even won it in WWE because it seemed like they were dedicated to burying him.
But I tell you what, those motherfuckers should be happy because look what he's doing for people.
Yeah.
And he's just apparently just one of the nicest guys ever.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Can you imagine just going up and seeing DDP and being like, what's up? Hey,
want to work out?
Yeah, you guys want to do some yoga? No.
Yeah.
Let's do some.
I'll talk about some 12 ounce.
DDP yoga. I don't want to do yoga.
I want to do some 12
well,
ounce.
it's not yoga.
I want to do some 12 ounce curls.
The other thing is people that shit on yoga have never done yoga before.
Yeah.
Because holy fuck is it
Yoda?
hard.
Workout.
Yoga.
You're going to shit on Yoda? What did
Nobody
he never do
shits
to
on
you?
Yoda.
That's
okay?
right. He'll fucking kill you.
But yoga,
Yeah.
I went to a class once. I've never sweated
Yeah.
like that. Other than the first time that I went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was in Colorado at Elevation, fucking sweating my ass off. Yoga is...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
well, they
God.
turn the heat up in those fucking
You know what?
places,
I really...
too, don't they?
That's hot yoga. That's
Okay.
hot yoga.
Yeah.
I wanted to sign up for one of those.
You know, the one I really like is when girls do downward pointing dog.
That alone would be enough for you to join.
And when
So if you go you go up right behind him and scream surprise, it's not rape.
Yeah, I like downward pointing dog. I like reverse cowgirl. I like.
We're talking about Yoda.
Like the old
yoga. No, DDP is doing fucking great things, and it's unfortunate that Scott Hall passed away when he did, because he was finally able to fucking like be who he was again.
How did he die?
Man, he had such a addiction to painkillers.
Yeah.
For a long
and
time.
cocaine and alcohol.
Yeah,
His body just said, "Fuck you, I'm out."
There was just seeing some of the
Did a blackjack
videos.
dealer. I'm out.
Yeah.
And then,
Why do my hands keep doing this?
Jake the
Clapping.
Snake. Look at him. That fucker's straight up. I mean, and everybody's looking at him because now there's some wrestlers, some current wrestlers are just doing it just to try to keep their body able to keep wrestling. So DDP, and he's got a full team now, and they come in.
Nice.
Some of the guys that like the Butterbean, I think some of them actually stay in his house for a while.
Yep.
While
at DDP's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, DDP, I'll be there next Friday. Just
because you want to bang his wife.
get the guest room ready.
You just want. Hey, so I have to do.
All right,
yoga.
we're gonna get up at 4 in the morning. Like,
Okay, never mind. I won't be there.
I didn't come here to do yoga,
Okay.
because I heard people crashes at your joint.
Yeah. Thought I'd just hang out with you and then I get fucking ripped.
Guess I'll stay up till 4 then.
Right.
I'm not waking up at 4.
No, you get. And the funny that because now you look at, he's like the new age Stu Hart. Stu Hart had this fucking ring in the basement.
Yeah.
And he taught everybody how to do shit safely, how to do things and how you should stretch and how to do this and whatever to make sure that because look, if it wasn't for Goldberg, and I like Goldberg, but if it wasn't for Goldberg, he wrecked he ruined lives.
Should have been more careful.
Yeah,
Bret Hart should have been more careful.
Yeah, should have totally been out of the way.
You know, you got to protect yourself too. You know?
Like your face.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. When you look and see how bad he had to try to kick people, like his body was almost his head was almost rubbing the ground when he do a kick.
I fucking loved Goldberg back in the day.
I love Goldberg too, but he was a horrible person to wrestle with.
Sloppy, and he was unsafe. I saw a video this week, or maybe it was last week. He wrestled Meng, and Meng came. He tried to power slam him, and he just dropped him on his head, like literally straight on his head. Then the guy that was the manager for Meng jumps climbed. He got in the ring, and Goldberg went to like gorilla press slam him, and then fucking dropped him on his head too. And it was just like, no, it's another day for Goldberg.
Dude, Meng was a mean motherfucker.
Meng was apparently one of the, in real life,
tough.
He was the guy that he will fuck you up if you mess with him. Like
he was good in the ring too. He had some ring skills to him.
Yeah, he was good.
Him and Harley Race.
Harley Race was another one.
He was like, don't fuck with him outside the ring.
Yeah, they were, man, those guys.
Rogan, he was on Ric Flair was on, I think, Rogan one time.
Yes, because Flair talks a lot about Harley Race.
I think they were Harley Race, Flair, and they were at a bar one night, and I think he fucking gouged somebody's eyes at the fucking bar. Harley Race did.
Yeah, Harley Race was. He was like the guy in wrestling back then, and he was the guy that you don't fuck with.
No, he looks like a mean motherfucker too. You know.
Yeah. So, how long have we been going? We've been going for over an hour.
Holy shit!
Just talk about
we were
wrestling.
supposed to talk about the Hall of Fame.
We were supposed to talk about the
Human Hall of Fame.
We've already gone an hour on this. What is our time at?
And you know what? You guys need to calm down.
Calm the fuck.
It's not all about time here.
It's all about time.
It's not.
It isn't. No, we've been going. So it's been about 58 minutes. 58 minutes, and so we were supposed to talk about the Hall of Fame, but we ended up talking about wrestling, which is. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that was something that we that was our childhood.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with sitting there and talking
I don't
because
have
we
a problem
can.
with it.
I'm honestly, I'm surprised at how much I've gotten back into it. And it was because of you, Justin.
Yes.
Because
thanks.
you and your brother would talk about wrestling.
My brother he knows more about it probably than us three know about it.
And it was only because
And,
you were talking about WrestleMania last year. And so it's like, fuck it.
Well, he got.
So we're like, oh, Peacock.
last year's WrestleMania was very good.
It was.
Well, and it didn't hurt Eddie that actually for the last few weeks we've been playing that new. Well, not new.
Yeah.
Playing WWE
2K23.
2K23.
Yeah.
And on PS5 and having a blast with it. You know,
Yeah.
after I whooped your ass,
Quan
both of your
Coyote.
asses actually, both your asses.
I had a chance that first match, but the pinning, it wasn't the mash, it was the bar.
He didn't know
Oh,
how.
you didn't have a chance.
I had a chance.
He didn't know how to kick out though. So
Yeah.
when you,
It was even. It was pretty even.
You didn't have a
That
chance.
second time you did kick my ass.
You didn't have a chance.
I had a chance.
No,
There was a chance.
I killed him. There was that triple threat match. You're talking about
No, we had two
was-
individual matches, you and I.
yeah.
The first one, I had a chance. That's where I didn't know how to. Then we changed the settings, and then the second time you
I
kicked
tell you what, you bring Quan Coyote
Quan Coyote.
to the fucking.
That's a racist
Yeah,
name.
we'll do some backyard shit.
He's black.
Yeah, and Quan is an Asian name.
He's a
And,
quarter.
and Coyote would be a Native
I don't know, it
American
feels
name.
Asian.
And Coyote would be a Native American name.
He's a quarter Mexican.
I have
He's
two-
a quarter black.
I have two words for you. Michelle Quan.
That's a last name.
Yeah, but it's Quan.
It's spelled
and it's,
differently.
it's Asian.
What's her
She
name?
was Japanese
Laquan
American.
Treadwell.
What's her name? From Family Guy.
Oh, the news lady.
Trisha.
Trisha Takanawa.
Takanawa. Yeah. See, that's Quan Coyote.
No, actually, he might be a quarter Asian. He's a quarter Asian.
Oh, so-
He's a quarter black. He's a quarter Indian, and
Indian, are we talking dot, or are we talking
native.
feather?
feather.
Okay, so we're talking casino, not
He lives in
7-Eleven.
Wyoming. How many
Yeah.
Asians live in Wyoming?
Not many. How
do
many
you know?
black people live in Wyoming?
Well, more than-
Not many. It's the same
He's
answer.
very unique.
Oh,
He's a quarter Asian. He's a quarter Mexican. He's a quarter black, and he's a quarter wolf.
He's like 90.
but his last name's Coyote.
That is where the quarter wolf comes
That's where the wolf comes from.
All right.
Very unique.
Well,
All right. Before we go, gentlemen, I'm going to do the sour pickle challenge.
Oh god.
oh God. So Lucas, explain this thing you got.
So
What do you got?
I have here, it is an extreme sour Warheads sour dill pickle
Oh my god.
from Van Holten's.
I can't believe you're going to take a bite of this fucking thing, but whatever, dude.
This
So
is
that was refrigerated before.
No.
Nope.
Oh my god.
But it's
This is
vacuum
a-
sealed, so
yeah. This
Still.
it's a massive pickle.
there's
is
probably 9,000 different preservatives that'll.
I want to read the
cancer.
nutritions after you open.
Have you
that.
ever? Yeah. So this company, this Van Holten's, these giant pickles in a bag are not uncommon.
No.
Man.
I've
You
seen
can
these
get
before.
that shit at fucking Walmart.
Yeah.
At the fucking.
I've never
side.
seen a sour one. A Warhead,
Warhead
sour one.
sour
Oh
pickle?
yeah, this thing would be awesome. I can't.
Look
wait.
at that
Yes.
fucking thing. It looks
It does
soggy.
say it is.
Oh,
Well, it's been sitting in juice. Of course it is.
It's a pickle.
Oh my
So
God.
it sour pickle challenge. Okay, so
Mix that with
pickle
one
in
of
a
your monsters,
pouch.
the juice.
Fuck no, dude.
So
Thank God I only got 3 monsters at a time because this is not going to be good.
two of my favorite
Dude.
things are sour stuff and pickles.
Pickles. Well, this should be right up.
So
the
how
alley
could
then.
it be bad?
All right.
Combined.
Pickles and
Then you got to
wieners.
rate it after you.
So here we go.
Take this bite. Oh my God. Oh.
No, it's
Not that bad.
Not
Tastes
that
like
it's
a,
really not. It tastes more like a normal pickle than it does Warheads.
maybe it's not as.
Yeah.
Those warheads are usually fucking sour.
Super
Yeah,
sour.
yeah.
This is nowhere close.
Oh.
So yeah, it's basically a normal pickle with. You can tell there's a little twinge of something else, but it's just nothing.
Oh.
So you ever had like those? What are they? The spicy garlic Vlasic pickles. Those are
Yeah.
probably those. I love those. Those are delicious.
Those are a little too garlicky.
Really? Pussy.
Well, now
was
that
a
we've
letdown.
now that he's finally,
Letdown?
so let's.
It wasn't
let's
like
hear it.
gross though.
No, it's not gross. It was. Honestly, I expected more from it.
Yeah.
You're
It's
a little
still-
upset.
It's a good pickle. If you like pickles, you'd probably be okay with this. But
Oh, I'm kind of
flavor wise, I don't know. Not super impressed. I'm a little
not really
disappointed.
impressed.
It ain't no old Milwaukee.
You're
Not an old mud.
Warheads. You're off your game a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
You need to do better with your vegetable, your pickleized vegetables.
yeah.
there.
Increase the sour factor. Okay,
Yeah.
we need.
Yeah.
You know what? Take a shot of that juice.
Oh yeah, because the bag is filled with pickle juice. So
Yeah.
let me.
Take a little
boy.
hit here. Oh my god. You all right?
That juice is good.
Has it got a little bit more spank than the pickle?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try it now too.
The juice actually,
I ain't touching that
yeah,
shit.
the juice is decent.
I'm diabetic, so I can't have any.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I don't
fucked.
think there's sugar. This is just sodium.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
No carbs, no sugar. It's just
There you go.
sodium.
Come on.
Okay, I'm a pussy, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
And actually, it's only 13% sodium of your
That's
daily
not bad.
allowance.
That's
Holy
not bad.
shit, you better go buy it.
Oh
before.
wait,
But-
there's 5 servings in
Yeah.
a pickle.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, look at the size of that thing.
that's
It looks like
65%. Yeah.
dude, that thing would wreck your butthole.
Oh no, I've had bigger things in my asshole than that.
Oh, I was talking about because it comes out the wrong.
Oh no.
Not going in.
No, you ever see the jars of the giant pickles? Yeah, I've had that whole jar in there before.
Oh,
There you
all
go.
right. Well, thanks
There you
for
go.
bringing that up. All right. Well, Justin, you have anything else you'd like our listeners that should be hearing us on, Spotify and YouTube and our website, drunksversustheworld.com and, Samsung, Amazon, all these other places they can listen to our podcast?
Yes. Stop giving Jack from Titanic shit or Rose from Titanic shit.
No, don't.
Fuck that
Rose
guy.
He
deserves
tried to
all
get
the
on
shit.
the fucking door.
He did not.
Didn't
That
try
bitch
hard
wouldn't even
enough.
let him
Maybe
on.
not hard enough, but I don't think he would have made it.
She wouldn't let him on there.
No.
Yeah.
I think I don't think it would have worked, but they should have tried
No,
harder.
if you're that in love, you either both survive or you
That,
both die.
that's true.
All he had to do was just kind of grab her and then just fall backwards.
But-
She was dying with him.
That's why.
Scientifically, if they would have both been on that door, I don't think it would have worked.
Scientifically, it's been proven that they both could have fit on there.
I don't know.
Hey, Mythbusters.
Fuck Mythbusters.
Well, they do the science, and you don't.
now, if I
You check foundations, they check flotation. Sorry, buddy.
That was good.
Love you, man, but it's true.
That was good. That was good.
Lucas?
no, just to ping off of the Jack and Rose talk and the whole you either die together or live together. That's why if I ever get a girlfriend, it's murder suicide for me. we're going out together.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Together.
First, let me just walk that back. I will never kill anyone or myself, especially myself. I would kill someone else before I killed myself.
Great. This is Exhibit A. Lucas's fucking murder trial.
There it is. You have it on fucking file.
We have it on file. Mr. Bartlett, we're
I
going
would
to need that
never
hard
kill
drive.
someone.
I'm sorry, I lost it.
It's
Lucas, you
gone.
owe me that $13, right?
Look, I would never kill someone unless they piss me off. So
No,
like, I just
see,
wouldn't do it.
really good
I
I
wouldn't do
pissed
it.
you off.
And
I'm
I
still
wouldn't-
You
alive.
better fucking watch your back.
And I
then.
didn't draw down on you, did I?
That's true. That's true. But we haven't seen, Justin or Brian for a while. So I mean,
I saw him a couple times. I
So, yeah.
of course you did. Yeah,
haven't-
make
I
sure
didn't-
that he's walking around.
didn't.
Just keep an eye out.
I didn't murder him either.
Keep
So
your eye out.
Not yet.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. And Rose,
See you
you're a
later.
bitch.